Happy Wednesday, you all. I hope all is well. So, I am experimenting with using YouTube. I'll be watching tutorials, I'm sure, experimenting with the apps that one of my dear students share with me that I can use to edit my videos. Um, so, with this gift of time, I will do that. So, hopefully, we'll be able to see the progression of my videos from now to a month from now. I'm excited. Our vlog, or excuse me, today is What a Word Wednesday. It's every third Wednesday. I will post some words of encouragement on my YouTube channel. So that's what we're doing for today. But before we get started, I've mentioned before in previous vlogs about one word and the fact that the one word is what we use to guide us and to make sure that we're aligned to our purpose, aligned to being committed to what our goals are. And so I think I have I'm hyphenating 3 words in to make it one word, because when you hyphenate 2 words, it makes it one. So I'm going to hyphenate 3 because I believe they're interconnected. And so my 3 words are release hyphen, receive hyphen, manifest. Because my 2 words for my one word was receive hyphen, manifest. Is it hyphen or dash? I think it's hyphen. Okay, English teacher. And then I've added release through reflection. I've added release through receiving words of wisdom from loved ones. And so, of course, I'm going to go over the definition. Release is a verb, and it means allow or enable to escape from confinement, set free. Receive is a verb, and it means to be given, presented with, or paid something. And manifest is a verb. Evidence of, prove, become apparent through the appearance of symptoms appear. And so these 3 words connect in my life for this season at this point in time, because I am continuing to release all things that are toxic and don't lend to me walking confidently into the future that God has for me. I receive that He has a good future for me based on His word and the promises in His word. And I know that they're going to manifest because His promises are tried and true. God doesn't say something then take it back. We can take it to the bank. It's going to manifest. Yes. So I wanted to share that. All right. For this month's What a Word Wednesday, the words are protect, a verb, and brand, a noun. Protect as a verb means keep safe from harm or injury, aim to preserve. Brand is a noun. It means a brand name, a particular identity or image regarded as an asset, a particular type or kind of something. So I've connected that to the fact that as disciples of Christ, as children of God, we are part of a brand, if we want to make it modern. And it is our responsibility to protect that brand because we bear and carry God's name as His children. We are adopted into the royal family. And so now I'm going to switch over to my laptop because I wrote out my thoughts. I was en route somewhere on my way to an appointment, and it came to me. I said, okay, get it down. So I'm going to read, okay? All right. Protect the brand. Protect His name. Reverence His name. How are you carrying His name? How are we carrying His name? Our God-given names carry stories, and for some of us, weight. I know the story of how my mom came to name me. And it's very special to know that she picked my name out when she was in high school, and she held on to it until she spoke the words to let them know what she was going to name me. And then even connecting it to my last name, and the confidence or the assurance that's connected in having my last name. Even to the point that at one point in time when I was younger, I was like, I'm not going to even hyphenate my last name. I'll be Mrs., but I'm not going to hyphenate. No, excuse me. I said I wasn't going to take my husband's last name, But thank God for growth and personal reflection. I'm now going to hyphenate because someone suggested, well, make your middle name, make your maiden name your middle name. I'm like, no, I like my middle name. And so I'm going to keep my middle name, and then I'll just hyphenate what my husband's last name is. Because really, hyphenating that's for me. Because Van, God has blessed me to establish something with that name. And so I would still like to capitalize on that to a degree. But I understand that my husband, this is Jasmine, I understand that my husband is my covering, and I would be honored to carry his name. And then really, essentially, the only time people are going to know that my name is hyphenated is when I write my signature, or if they know me from, previous times. Because I'm not going to ask people to call me Mrs. Van hyphen his last name. No, I'll be Mrs. what his name is. And then if people call me my maiden name, I'm not going to be upset by that because, why? I've been that name for an extended amount of time. And yeah, so, all right, back to it. Our last names especially open doors for us. What kinds of questions do we ask? Who are your people? Are you the same Vans as a particular region? So on and so forth. So the kinds of questions, what I'm saying here is the kinds of questions we ask when we hear someone's last name is, okay, where are your people? Are your people from this part of this region or that part of this region? Are you of the Vans who are in South Korea? Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a way that we connect and really associate what we consider of a person connected to their name. I really like that movie, Crazy Rich Asians. There's a scene in there where one of the characters asks Rachel if she's of the Jews of a particular area over in, did he say Taiwan? I can't remember, but it was very important. So just in the natural, our names carry weight. So when a woman marries, she typically takes on her husband's name, whether it's completely or hyphenated, or maybe not even at all. In recent years, in some cultures, some men are hyphenating their names with their wives' names, and thereby the children have hyphenated names. In some cultures, the child has the mother and father's last name. What's in a name? What does a name carry? What does a name carry when it's connected to a title? Titles with names create a new dynamic or recognition in our culture because titles are connected to authority, expertise, and the like. However, in too many cases, titles become more important than the name and or association connected to the title. I'm going to say that again. In too many cases, titles become more important than the name and or the association connected to the title. The association is the collective impact of vision. The title is a byproduct and therefore secondary. If you take my title, the association or organization still stands. So, as children of God, we are in a family and organization of different running parts, each significant and vital. And then many of us are also part of other organizations, and it holds true. It's the same, and even in the fields that we work in our careers, it holds true. It's the same. With being adopted and joint heirs with Christ, we carry our Heavenly Father's name. We're 1 Peter 2:9. We're part of a royal priesthood. So the question I ask is, how are we carrying it? How are we representing Him? My mom used to tell me and my brother to be mindful of our conduct outside of the house because we bear the family name. She used to say, y'all can cut up and act up in the house, but when you go outside of these walls, you're representing this family and you need to be mindful. And she even went on to say, I better not come up to that school for anything. And we knew it. Like, I understand it. My mother is 6 feet tall. She was in the Army for a number of years. She was very strict when I was growing up, and I'm thankful for that because her strictness has lent to creating a platform for my life, or a foundation, I should say, for my life, to where I've been able to build on that and make good decisions because not only was she strict, but she held me accountable. She had open lines of communication with me. She raised me to honor God. So I'm grateful for that. I remember when I was getting ready to graduate, a lot of people told her that, she's going to go away to college and get wild and be crazy. And yeah, no, that's not true. Now I've had, in my adult years, had to find a balance because I became too regimented. Like, it was just like not good. And so I'm grateful for striking and finding my balance so that I can enjoy life in a constructive way and realize that, you know, working hard, there's the other side to that. And it doesn't always have to be work, 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 work. Like Rihanna says, work, 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 work. But that's a different work, 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 work. Okay, girl. But that we can bask in the blessings of God and enjoy and receive those blessings and not feel guilty. Like, that's what I'm working on. Now back to it. The same goes for his name. Many of us are misrepresenting God because of our reckless words and our conduct. So, you know, it's obvious to people that we're Christians. It's obvious to people that we're followers of Christ, but our actions are not saying that. Our words are not saying that. And we'll say in a heartbeat, I love Jesus, I love God, I love this, but our fruit is not showing that. We're saying that we're an apple tree, but we're showing oranges. We're saying that we're a lemon tree, but bananas are growing. Like, what is it? You know, there's enough gray area negativity in the world. People don't need to be confused by looking at us. Many of us are walking epistles, you know, walking representations of God. We're his vessels in the earthly realm. So again, what are we really representing? And are we only Christians when it's convenient? Do we wear our faith as an accessory, or is it a part of our life? Is it vital? Is it necessary? Is it like oxygen, the air that we breathe? Because we're going to have some stuff we have to account for, y'all, if we are speaking and saying that we honor God or we love God, but we don't love people. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, how do we say we love God, but we don't even love our neighbor who we see every day, but we've never seen God, or we haven't seen him yet, but we say we love him? You know, we've become so judgmental. It's like we come into the light of knowing God and forget what he's delivered us from. We come into the light of God and we act like we don't have a past, or we've never made bad decisions, or God isn't so actively delivering us from something or healing us from something. Shame on us. Shame on us. Life is hard enough, and we have become so self-righteous that we are turning people away, and that is out of line. You know, we're supposed to invite people to church to come to what it represents as a hospital so they can be healed, right? So that they can find Christ, so that they can walk in the purpose God has for their lives. So we're helping them mend a broken foot and a broken arm, but then we are creating lacerations by stabbing them in the back, or with our reckless words, being judgmental and saying things, saying that, you know, it's connected to what God says, what God loves. No, does God really say it? Can we find it in the Bible? Because if the Bible can't back it up, we should not be saying it at all. Because how dare us, you know, even footing with everybody else, how dare us, you know, because we are chosen of God, now look down on people. Jesus was humble. Jesus, and even in his humility, he spoke up for the underdog. He didn't condemn the underdog. He was amongst the sinners, you know. He went to the places that the Pharisees and Sadducees were too self-righteous to go. But how are people going to see God if we're not out and about in the world, if we're not representing him in the different avenues of where we are? Like, how are they going to see God? Because, you know, we're going to church every Sunday, but are we inviting people to go with us? No, sometimes we're not. There's statistics, I can't remember them verbatim, but it's like every year it's less and less people are inviting people to church, or less and less people are going. Because you know what? People are over it, right? They're over it. And so we just have really essentially have got to do better. All right, back to it. Many of us are misrepresenting God because of our reckless words and conduct. Are our continuous actions causing confusion? Now, we aren't perfect, but we strive to please him. And in striving to please him, by serving him, loving others, and being disciples. So we aren't perfect, but we strive to please him. And we please him by serving him, loving others, and being disciples. That means there should be resonating traits, the fruit of the Spirit, that is apparent. When I got my first full-time position in education, a coworker who is now very near and dear to my heart walked in my room and asked me to pray for her sister who was battling breast cancer. Internally alarmed, I was like visibly shocked. I told her I for sure I would. But when she walked out, I asked God, how did she know to ask me that? Or how did she know to share that with me? When we carry his name and reverence his name in our daily lives, the proof is in the pudding. So our challenge is we have to protect the brand. We have to protect the name in the sense that we are representing. Does that make sense? Like, we're carrying it, so we should carry it humbly, and we should carry it well. We should carry it in reverence of his name. You know, how crazy is it, would it be that in my preparing to be married, that I take more pride in my, you know, married name than in the name that saved me, right? And the name that goes before me and prepares the way for me. Like, is that not backwards? Yeah. So we need to resituate some things and prioritize. Our challenge is to protect the brand, and the brand of his nail-scarred hands is that challenge. His nail-scarred hands are our reminder that we are God's vessels, and as his vessels, what are we doing to not only protect the brand, but to lead others to him? All right, y'all. So that is the What a Word Wednesday for Wednesday, March 18th, 2020. The words were protect and brand. All right, y'all have a good one.